My name is Architect Lai Shosanya. I'm Principal Architect for Nearest Architects. Yes, the real estate sector in Nigeria, it's been an up-down ride down the years. Presently we are at a stage where Nigeria is still on the house. We still have a deficiency in the housing industry, and there's no much regulations supporting or upholding this sector or guarding this sector. So it's still in a developing state, I would say, because everywhere in the world, even in the developed countries, their housing sector goes through some kind of phases, and even developed countries, no country can tell you that their housing sector is fully developed. But we are still in the cradle stage, very, very much in the cradle stage. It does, because the target of every real estate sector is the middle class. So unless the middle class is empowered, then the real estate sector is in trouble. Even in the highbrow sector that you are saying, housing apps springing up, you find that there are still a lot of to let everywhere.
Yes.
Yeah, nobody is empowered to take these houses. Because you find out that when people build the houses in the hope of getting people to occupy them and pay rental income for them, you find out that they are very limited. So it's a problem basically with the economy,
Okay.
And as the trend goes, I'm sure, unless government does something in terms of their policies, before we can see the change that we really need.
Okay.
No, the developers will always play around the clock. Developers will always find a way, find cheap money to do development and either sell or find people in the middle class that can access to mortgage.
Okay.
So developers will always find a way around to keep their business afloat and to keep, but the most important thing that what they put into the market will not be enough for the middle class that we're talking about. Let me break it down like this. Some states in Nigeria are doing good. Lagos State, for one, they're doing something that's close to what the federal government should be doing. They recently came up with this rent-to-own scheme for their housing, which is good. You can get a middle-class guy to own a 3-bedroom flat, and instead of paying his rent to some landlord, he's paying to government in ownership of the house.
Okay.
So he can struggle to put up a certain amount of money as his rent, but that rent goes towards the ownership of the house. So that's a good development for the middle class sector. The only disadvantage this has is you have to be in an organized sector before you can get somebody into this scheme, rent to own. He has to be maybe in the paid sector. He has to be an employee of an organization. Somebody that his income or lifestyle is structured. But how many people in the middle class in Nigeria have a structured life? A lot of people run their own business. A lot of people have their own shops. A lot of people have their own small thing they are doing. They can get this money, but they are not living a structured life. But Lagos State also is taking a step further by having people registered. So if, for instance, you are a businessman or in a Ladipo or something, or in Alaba International, you are making small money like an average Nigerian in your daily business and all that. They're trying to get everybody structured. They know who you are, they know where you live. Once they have information on people,
Yes, sir.
it's easy to give them access to these kind of things. Because you don't want to give access to people that are not that you can't trace, you can't and that's the real problem. If, for instance, the federal government also takes up an initiative like this, now it goes from just being in Lagos State to everywhere else in Nigeria. Everybody else benefits from it, and once you can solve problems like that in different states in Nigeria, that's a lot. And you are sure that these are the kind of things that will get to the grassroots. I think there are two ways to tackle that issue. First, a lot of people are concerned about I'll break the environment or the surrounding into two, the micro and the macro. A lot of people are more concerned about their micro surrounding. my house, my compound. They're more concerned about that. They put everything to make sure that their compound is fine and in good, in good shape. But they're less concerned about the macro environment. No, everybody needs to be concerned about this. And also, I would commend Lagos State on this. One of the things they are doing. One of the things Lagos State is doing is concerning this macro environment is the fact that they are putting in a lot of development, infrastructures, making, beautifying everywhere, and we can only support them in this drive.
Yes.
You need to. I saw a picture of the other bridge they did at night, and it was awesome. It didn't even look like anywhere in Nigeria. It looks like somewhere from, in the Western world, And these are the kind of things we are talking about in the map. And if the government is doing this, we also need to play our part. For instance, resident associations need to come together, find things they can do in their macro environments, beautify, plant flowers, things that they can do just make everywhere a bit. And you find out that from the quality of our environment to lift the quality of our lives.